What's up YouTube, and welcome back to another video on my channel. If you do going to enjoy today's video, then please be sure to like it and leave a subscription on the channel. It will mean a lot to me. Okay, if you haven't already, then be sure to go and check out my previous videos where we predicted the League 1 table and the League 2 table. If you do support any of the clubs in those leagues, then be sure to get in the comments and give it a comment about whether you think you agree with where I've put your team for next season. Right, this video includes a little game. Now, we've got all the championship club badges on this graphic here. Now then, getting straight into it. We've got the first team, 24th position, which are going to be going from bottom to top of the table here. 24th position for me goes to Rotherham. Now, Rotherham are a team that got promoted from League One last season, and they're also a team who haven't done too much business. Major signings include the fact that they brought in Tom Eaves from Hull City. He's a decent signing there. He's a big lad, plays up front, but he's not that striker that's going to get you those 15 goals a season that you're going to need to be staying up in the division. Therefore, Rotherham haven't strengthened all over the squad, which is why I'm thinking they're going to be going straight back down. Okay, next up we've got Reading in 23rd position. They're going to be the team that next get relegated. Now, Reading have bought Shane Long back to the club in major news here, which is a decent signing in the short term, but in the long term, it's not going to help them out too much. And strengthening only in a striker position with a club icon is not the way to do business in this day and age, which is why Reading are going to be even further down than they were last season, also due to the fact that they have lost John Swift as well. Now, moving on, 22nd position is Wigan's, and they will be the final team to be relegated. Now, Wigan have done absolutely no business in the window, which is why they're probably going to just go straight back down because their squad currently is not of championship standard, in my opinion. So, there is my relegation zone, and now we'll move on to the next section. Okay, now into the next section, which is the relegation scrapping teams. These are teams that are just gonna beat the drop, in my opinion. So, 21st position goes to Blackpool. Now, Blackpool are a team who have done minimal business as well. They've brought in a guy called Lewis Fiorini in loan from Manchester City under 23s. He did last have a loan at Lincoln City. I'm not too sure about his performance at Lincoln, but hopefully he can help Blackpool beat the drop just like I have got them to do so here. Now, 20th place, Swansea City. The first Welsh club of the video. They have signed Harry Darling from MK Dons, who is a decent League One level centre back. However, if we pop him into a championship side, I'm not too sure how he's going to perform. Also, they brought Joe Allen back to his home country, which could be a decent short-term midfield signing to help them beat the drop, just like I've got them to do so here. However, they were quite low last season, and I'm going to have them low again this season. 20th position, Swansea. 19th position now goes to Birmingham City, who are also a team that were quite low down last season. Not the greatest of seasons for them last season, but this season also minimal business, only bringing in John Ruddy from Wolves, which is a decent short-term goalkeeping signing. However, if you're thinking into the long term, they're not going to have too much depth in the squad to go forward and get higher up that league table. So, 18th position now, Bristol City, and their main piece of business would be Kane Wilson from Forest Green Rovers. Not the greatest of signings for Championship level. It's more of a gamble signing because he is a League Two winner. He's a very good player for the League Two, League One bracket, but going higher up than that, Again, I'm not too sure. Same kind of situation as Harry Darling going to Swansea. So we'll see what happens with Bristol City. But I think 18th, which is around where they were last season, is not too far wrong, if you like. However, these are only predictions at the minute. We'll see what happens come May. Okay, 17th position and the last position for relegation scrappers goes to Coventry City. Okay, Coventry are an inconsistent side. Sometimes they're higher up the league, sometimes they're lower down the league. However, this season I've got them to be 17th position. Their main bit of business will be Jonathan Panzo in on loan from Nottingham Forest, 21-year-old Portuguese international, which is it could be a good signing, it might not be a good signing, but we'll have to wait and see for Coventry there, who I've got to finish 17th this season. Okay, now we are moving on to the mid-table section of the league table. So, 16th place, I've given this to Hull City. Now, Hull City have done a couple good bits of business here. They have sold George Honeyman, which was their main midfield man last season. However, they have replaced him with two top-class championship signings with Jean-Michel Seri and Ozan Tufan. They're going to pretty much perform exactly how you would expect in the championship, which is going to get Hull slightly higher up that league table from a relegation scrap into a mid-table position, which is going to help their slow improvement back to where they could become, back to where they were, which was the Premier League ultimately. Now, 15th position, Preston. Okay, 14th position, right, Cardiff City are 14th. They have made the signing of Ebu Adams from Forest Green, league title winning side of League Two. It's a gamble signing again, just like Kane Wilson, because I'm not too sure about his championship readiness, if you like, which is why Cardiff. They've also lost centre back Aidan Flint to Stoke City, which is not good at all for them, which is why I've got Cardiff in 14 back to mid-table where they pretty much were last season. Now, 13th position goes to Sunderland. Now, Sunderland are a team that should be at least at this level, which is why I've got them to stay comfortably at this level and just miss out on a top half finish. They've signed Jack Clark from Tottenham Hotspur. He's going to bring them an absolute threat from out wide, which is going to help them get much more goals and stay comfortably in the league. So, Sunderland, you are 13th position. Now, moving into that top half, we've got 12th place Stoke City. Now, Stoke are a team who could be a Premier League team. However, they've just been lingering around that mid-table area recently in the Championship, which is why I've got them to finish 12th. They've signed Aidan Flint from Cardiff. They've also signed Josh Laurent from Reading. They're two good signings, which are going to help them strengthen up in defence, which is why I don't think they'll be lower than a top half finish. But they may need to strengthen up that attack to go and get them even higher up the top half of the table. Okay, the final mid-table position here, 11th place, Millwall. Probably spelt that wrong, but oh well, they have done quite a decent bit of business here. They've brought in Charlie Cresswell in on loan from Leeds United. Good, tall, young defender, going to solidify them at the back there. And they've also got Benik Afobe and George Honeyman bolstering their attack, which is a very good thing for them because they're going to be getting forward, but they're also going to have a strong defence, which is why they're going to comfortably finish in that mid-table area, in my opinion. Okay, now we're going to be moving in to the top 10 section of the league, the bit just before the playoffs where they'll just miss out. So, in 10th position, we are going to be having Blackburn Rovers. Now, their main speculation is the possible loss of Ben Brereton Diaz, who's been firing all the goals for them recently. He is their main talisman, their main goal threat. So if they do lose him, there's going to be a slight drop off but I'm going with 10th position for Blackburn, which is around about where they were last season, looking for some consistency, I should hope. Now, moving on, ninth position, QPR, Queen's Park Rangers, whatever you want to call them. They're going to be ninth for me. Decent season last season, fell off towards the back end, but I do believe they can go again and reach the top 10 again, which is why I'm putting them in ninth position. Their main transfer business is Tyler Roberts in on loan from Leeds United. He plays your sort of second striker slash centre attacking midfield role, and he'll be able to get the goals and the assists from a little bit deeper, which is going to be beneficial for QPR in this coming season. Now, eighth position, Huddersfield Town. Their main news would be losing Carlos Corberan and also possibly the loss of O'Brien and Toffolo to Nottingham Forest, as I've heard the links there. So that is going to be a massive blow for Huddersfield, who were playoff final losers last season to Nottingham Forest, which is it's going to be devastating for them, and it's going to possibly leave a mark on Huddersfield, which is why I don't think they're going to be making the playoffs again. Also, due to the fact that they've lost manager and two of their better players. Now, then, seventh position is Luton Town, and they just about made the playoffs last season and lost the semi final to Huddersfield, which is going to Luton are a team that can use that as positive energy, though. That is what I believe, and that is why I believe they'll be high up that table again. But I've only put them in seventh to just miss out due to the quality of teams that I think will make the playoffs. So Luton, seventh position. Okay, this is where we get down to the nitty gritty, the playoff places. Right, let's get straight into this. Sixth position, Sheffield United, the Blades. They're going to build on from their playoff semi-final loss on penalties to Nottingham Forest last season, and they're going to go again and make those playoff places. You can't go too far wrong with Sheffield. They're going to keep being up there. They probably could be back in that Prem next season, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, fifth position for me is going to West Bromwich Albion. They have brought in one of the Championship's best players in John Swift, who can supply Daryl Dyke up front with all the goals that he can get for the club, which is why I'm putting them in fifth, because that is a pretty promising Championship attack for me. They could be back in the Prem next season. We'll have to wait and see. Now, West Brom's playoff opponents, should this table be right, for me in fourth place is Middlesbrough. What a manager they have in Chris Wilder. Just missed out last season. I did get to watch Middlesbrough play last season at my club's ground, which is why I know they have got the quality needed to make the playoffs. They've also been heavily linked to Zach Steffen. Not sure when that will be official, if it is official already. However, Zach Steffen is going to absolutely strengthen them up in goal. They've also got backup choice Liam Roberts, who is a very good goalkeeper, signed from Northampton. So we'll have to wait and see. Middlesbrough versus West Brom is my playoff first leg prediction. Now, Sheffield's opponents in third position here, in my opinion, is going to be Watford. Now, Watford have got new manager Rob Edwards. They've definitely got the talent in the squad to be in the playoff slash automatic area, which is why I've got them in the playoff. But I'm not sure Rob Edwards and his team are good enough to get them up automatically. It wouldn't be I don't think it would be right for a manager like Rob Edwards to be managing the Premier League. I don't think he's that level. But Watford are notorious for sacking managers, so we'll have to wait and see how long Rob Edwards lasts in that job. Okay, now we've got two positions left. We have got the automatic place and the champions. Now, who will be promoted automatically to the Premier League? You've probably worked it out by now, but second position is Burnley Football Club. Now, in shock news, they have bought Vincent Kompany in as manager, who has done some pretty decent business already. majorly signing Scott Twine from MK Dons, who is more than good enough to play at the top of the championship. He is a top player. MK Dons will be absolutely gutted to lose that man, but he can help Burnley get into at least second place should they keep all of their other players. Okay, now finally, this is what you've been waiting for. This is pretty obvious, but first position, as like every other time they are in this league, Norwich City. Now, Norwich have done a couple of decent bits of business. Isaac Hayden in on loan from Newcastle, and also the signing of a Brazilian lad from Sao Paulo. That is going to help them muchly in the midfield when they come to going for that title, which is inevitably what I believe will happen. So, my first place, Norwich City. Right, that is going to conclude my championship predictions here. You can see them on screen, the final table. We'll come back to this in May and see how many I got right, as we will with all the other league predictions. But if you did enjoy this video, then please be sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all for Premier League predictions very soon. Goodbye, YouTube.